To our next guest, he's been with the Australian team for many years. He comes and goes a little bit. He's American, and when he's not working with the Australian team, not that that's a bad thing, Mike, it's he's off fishing for bass and doing all sorts of things. Mike Young, welcome to the Cricket.
Hey, Slats, how are you, Binger?
Tried all summer to get you on, and now we're going to get you to put us through our paces. We've got Jack here, we've got Oscar as well. They're going to help us out, but a little bit of your background. I like the fact that you're American and you're in our sport, cricket, which is very not an American sport, if I can put it that way.
No, it isn't, but it is a world sport, played all over the world, and I've been over here since 1981. And been in cricket, though, since 2002. So I've been around a little bit.
And you come from the baseball background. You're a coach over there?
I do. Yeah, I was in professional baseball for many years, and then came over here to run the Australian Olympic baseball team, and then got into cricket when my man here, Brett Lee, was playing in 2003 World Cup, and that's my background.
Yeah, and played as well?
I played as well.
Hitter?
Well, I could hit a fastball, but if you spun it a little bit, I couldn't hit water if you fell out of a boat, you know. So that kind of sorted me out. But
and you like your fishing, don't you?
I love my fishing.
Yeah. I think when this time round you were fishing when you got the call, get out here. I think Boof got you out, didn't he, Darren Lehman?
Boof and Michael Clark, and I'm so happy to be here. I mean, this is what it's all about. And, of course, 4-0. We got to make it 5-0, hopefully.
Yeah, all right, mate. Well, let's get talking about throwing. Coming from the baseball background, that's what you've worked long and hard with the Australian team. Firstly, the technique of throwing. If you're a kid starting out, boy or girl, and for the coaches, what are we working on? Because I think the basics of throwing maybe aren't taught at the right age.
Yes, I mean, it's a very complicated thing, but for kids, I think the most important thing is, like, I know Binger and I used to talk about it a lot, is to make sure they have a good grip on the ball. Hold the ball across the seams like that, but nice and loose, so you have a gap in between the thumb and the two fingers. So in essence, if you point the ball right at the camera like that, you'll see it has a triangle. When you have that, you have good wrist action. It's not a lot different than bowling where you need that good wrist. So right there, you want to hold it there so the ball doesn't swing and move, it stays straight. Okay, one of the things they don't talk about, though, a lot, they talk about arm action. I don't believe that you really throw with your arm. I know that sounds funny to our listeners and our viewers, but the reality is I believe you throw with your feet.
Okay.
Okay, I think everything starts down below.
Okay, show us what you mean.
So it's really, you know, and also when we're talking about throwing, obviously you got to catch the ball. The biggest mistake guys make is they try to rush and they come off the ball and then they don't catch it. No use in trying to throw it if you don't catch it. So once you look it in, the most important thing is get your balance and direction towards our target. So no matter where I'm at, I try to move my feet to my target. Rather than catching and throwing flat-footed, now I only throw with my arm. But if I get that momentum, I've got a chance to make contact with the target.
And crucial always to have a target. Don't just be throwing it air out there.
Exactly, and that's why I believe in vision and balance. You get your balance with your feet, but, you know, you can't throw blind. Important thing is to make sure as you come up to throw, you pick up your target. Okay, you'll see right here, when you have little fellas like Jack and Oscar, I think it's important to give them confidence. But you'll notice our target, we've got two tall stumps, but in the middle, we've got a short one. The target, though, is that green cone.
Now, the base of the stumps there.
The base of the stumps. If they're doing that, this is what I found when I came into cricket working with Binger and these guys. Rather than talk about how to throw the ball, if they're throwing at a low target, automatically it forces them to think, I got to throw low. What do they have to do? They have to reach, and that creates a good arm path.
All right, let's get these boys into action. So, Jack, you start off. So, as Mike was saying, get that base, point at the target, and let's see if we can hit it.
Come on, little Slater.
Oh,
Very
close,
good,
Aussie. Well, you'll go. Let's see if you can get that target. Yeah, that's what we're talking
Good
about.
job, boys. Good job.
Anything you noticed there?
Good arms on both of them. You want to reach out a little bit, champion. Try it one more time.
Reach out
and
to
I
the
want
target.
you to really concentrate on that green cone. Let's just step right up here. See,
Good
that
boy,
was
mate.
better. And I'll tell you,
Getting
Slats,
out.
it's important for all of our viewers and our coaches. You know, it's hard to hit a stump. You know, you're out there, you get very few chances. When they miss, they got to know why. I know Binger and I worked on it a lot, and this guy had a great arm.
Yeah, he did.
The reality is when you miss on the throwing arm side, you've got to think about, I've got to get it out more and reach.
Okay.
So when we're doing this drill, if you miss, that's okay.
Have another
You
throw.
just don't miss on the same side twice in a row.
Whilst he's there, you go.
Oh,
Look, and
good.
he's
I want
getting
another
closer
go.
already.
I want to ask one thing, Young. You know, you
We've
always
got to get him
told us.
moved. Let's do some movement, Bingo.
You always told us about getting your elbow above your shoulder. What age would you tell these kids, or what sort of age would you recommend?
Well, right now is good for that, and the reality
throwing,
is, as you catch the ball on the ground, okay, everybody used to talk about doing this and lengthening the arm out. You want to be nice and short to your throwing position. So as you catch the ball, the important thing, if you can get your fingers across that seam, guys, that's really important. But this is what I like to teach.
I like this.
Okay? As soon as you catch the ball, turn your thumbs down.
Okay, that way.
Automatically, my fingers
like
are on
that.
top of the ball. So now as I catch it, I come in this position and I start to move my feet. My thumbs go down. Now, right away, my ball's there.
Okay, have you seen that? Try and do that.
So as you catch
Watch
the
what he's
ball,
doing.
thumbs
So
down,
your
and I'm
wrist
in a
has
good
gone the other way,
position.
Youngie, is that right?
The ball should be
Get that hand
facing the
through.
other way
Right.
at that position.
Like that.
Absolutely.
And then you're throwing through. And then you're throwing through.
Oh!
There you go,
Look at
Oscar,
them, they're
your
on
turn.
fire.
Don't hit Jack. Here, Oscar.
Don't your cousin, mate.
And very quickly, we're running out of time. Just in
Very good,
belief,
boys.
in terms of moving and getting in position, whether it be left or right, it's just all that foundation, right? So you're just getting in the same position.
It's no different than anything in sport. I was listening to Tim Cahill. It's all about getting
Come
your
over here.
feet to work. Okay, and
Good boy.
I like to talk about getting in a straight line to the target.
Your
So if
eyes.
I'm going left, I want to tuck that shoulder in and move my feet, so now I'm in a straight line. If I'm going right, as a right-handed thrower, it's a little bit easier because I'm going this way, but I want to get back in straight line to that target.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this. When Brett was on the boundary, when I first saw him, hey, this guy had a great arm. No doubt. You can't teach the tool. Mitchell Johnson. People come up and say, hey, what a great run out. I like to say, yeah, we worked on that. But we
Just a little bit.
We didn't, because he is a magnificent athlete. And this is an athletic skill.
Yeah, Mike, we'll get you back because we've got so much more to get through. That was fantastic. And
My pleasure.
one of his great sayings, he was around when I played even, and
Rattlesnake.
he used to say, if you don't do your practice, you don't go to the bank. And you've got to go to the bank, don't you?
Every time Youngie's
All
around,
right,
the Aussie team wins.
Let's take us to the break. Take us to the break with hitting the stumps out. Jack, you're
Yes.
come on, Aussie, your turn. Let's go.
Oh, he's bowled it.
He's bowled it.
That'll do.
Yes.
There you
Thanks
go.
to Jack and Oscar.